Well, for the first time in 4 years, the Federal Reserve handed down a sizable interest rate cut earlier this month, dialing back the fight against inflation and bringing welcome relief for borrowers. Since last July, rates sat between the 5.25% to 5.5% range. Now rates are down to 4.75% to 5%. This is expected to bring sweeping impacts to car loans, more accessible credit, savings, and of course, housing. As open houses get underway across the Bay Area today, we wanted to see the impacts here locally. Joining me live now is realtor Neil Canlas with the Canlas brothers. Neil, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Stephanie. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So mortgage rates already hit a 19-month low earlier this month of 6.2% on a 30-year fixed loan. What impact are you seeing in the San Francisco market?
That's a good question. It happened about a week and a half ago now, so we haven't seen any closed transactions since then. But I'll tell you one thing, our phones have been ringing more. More people have been coming to the open houses, and just overall consumer confidence is up. I mean, whenever the consumer community hears that the Feds are dropping their rates, it's their time. If you're a buyer in the market, it's your opportunity to get in while you can get a lower mortgage rate.
This week, the California Association of Realtors released its 2025 housing market forecast, predicting single-family home sales are expected to increase about 10% in 2025, and the median home price is expected to climb 4.6% next year to more than $900,000. So what does that mean for us here in the Bay Area? Are you already starting to see some of the effects?
Yes, we are. I mean, we're coming from a time in 2021, early 2022, where the market was super hot. Our rates were extremely low, and we were getting multiple offers on almost every listing that we put on the market. But today, obviously, with the rates almost tripling since 2021 times, the market has slowed down a little bit. But we are still seeing that the overall prices are still going up. And that's because the Bay Area has the jobs. The Bay Area has the demand where people want to live at. So until we move to another area of the country, the Bay Area is always going to go up no matter what. And I think that maybe that will affect the supply because of the rates being higher. But still, we're still seeing prices go up.
I know it depends on the neighborhood, but given the statewide predictions, which areas of the Bay Area do you expect will be most impacted by price hikes? And if you can get specific on what those numbers are.
That's a good question. I think that a lot of it's going to be in the single family resident market. If you look at the peninsula, San Mateo, that area, and Foster City, Burlingame, even going more south of Palo Alto, the single family homes there are still going to go high. We're still going to, inventory is still at a record low. Inventory is still at 1 month supply. And given that, there's just not enough inventory on the market for the buyers out there. So we're going to see prices go up, especially in the peninsula. I think San Francisco single family homes are going to go up as well. The condo market is not as strong, but single family homes for sure. And then in the East Bay, I mean, you're still seeing multiple offers in parts of Fremont, Union City. You're seeing a lot still in La Miranda and Lafayette, Orinda, Moraga. So I think things are looking up for home values in 2025.
Yeah, a lot to be tracking for sure. The Bay Area market is so unique given it's already so expensive to buy a home here. Some analysts say consumers should look out for the quote, sweet spot of closing, that time when rates go down and before competition gets out of control. Do you think we're already past that point?
My brother used to say, you don't wait to buy real estate, you buy real estate and you wait. I think in the Bay Area, if you look back, I look at trends holistically. Take a step back and look back until the 70s and the 80s. People who bought homes back then, interest rates were 10, 11, even higher. And they were buying homes record low pricing. And at the time, I bet if you ask any of them, they would say that was a stretch for the home price. But now, you look back holistically again, it's just been continuing to go up. And yeah, you'll get little dips here and there, but overall, it's always going to go up. This is the Bay Area. In the Bay, it's a little bit different. And the jobs are here. Technology is here. Innovation is here. Things are always going to go up. The jobs are here. And with work from home kind of being less for employees, people have to go back to work. People have to go back into the office. So we see prices going up, and we see that demand is always going to be there.
The National Association of Realtors settlement that just went into effect in August really changed the game. How is that impacting the process for your clients?
So with the National Association of Realtors settlement, that's a lot to unpackage. But overall, really what that did is it essentially removed the fixed commission paid to the buyer agent from the seller. So that's allowed a lot of sellers to be open to sell their property now because now they don't have to pay that fixed commission to the buyer agent. They can, it's now a new term to negotiate. So sellers are looking to save a little bit of money. And I've been getting a couple calls recently, actually a lot of calls from our sellers saying, hey, with the National Association of Realtor commission changes and the settlement, do I have to still pay that buyer agent commission? And in theory, they don't have to. It's their choice, and it's a term to negotiate now. So a lot of sellers are, getting over the fence and decided to sell their home. So we're seeing a lot of that change, but also another change from the settlement was that any buyer that wants to look at a property, they have to have a buyer broker agreement signed with a buyer's agent before they can tour it. So before, any broker or any agent can show a buyer any property they want. Now they have to have a contract, which basically explains their commission structure, how they're going to be compensated, the broker or the agent. So now it changes the way that we tour homes today. Brokers and agents have to really kind of sing for the supper and tell clients that they show their value so that they can get a buyer broker agreement signed so they can legally show them properties.
Interesting. Yeah, certainly slowing the process a bit, as you mentioned. Well, Neil, that's all the time we have for you this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, we do know Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell declined to predict how soon we could see the next rate cut or how big it could be, but he did describe the process as a cutting cycle, meaning it's not a one-off event. So in that sense, we know there's more to come.